Have you ever had a football preamble on any of the business?
No, none of that is going on any of the business.
Literally should be
just cut those 10 minutes off.
Photoshops on and put that in the footy shop.
Literally the
none
best
of that
chat
is
going on.
Literally the best
Don't
chat.
even know why you were talking for 10 minutes.
Because we were having a chat, mate. You know, like the when you fucking lecture people on politics, which no one's interested in.
There's chairs over there. That's
we
chatting
were-
area.
we
It's
were
the
having-
business
That's
area.
the new.
I'll remember that. Next time you start spouting shite.
That's the chat area. I don't spout shite. You just had a conversation that was absolutely pointless to the world.
We literally work in a football.
Literally football. It was literally probably the
Red light.
best football conversation you will hear anyway for the next 3 weeks.
I wasn't really listening. I tuned out. I was looking
I
at.
fell asleep.
I was looking at cats online, and I was on Instagram. So you know.
So this is staying in because I want that recorded.
Well, I want people to feel like they want that. Then they want that conversation. They might be like, "Give us that conversation," and then
that's fine.
And then I might give
you
them.
tuned out to look at cats on Instagram. That was the line I wanted. The rest of it's fine. Me and Bailey just had an absolutely brilliant.
Your version of a cat and my version of a cat are two different things. So, you know what I mean?
What you were looking at fucking Jaguars way, and I was thinking of tabbies. That what you trying to say?
And I think you're clearly missing the key word that is used for cats.
Missing any
I think you just have. You know what? You're too busy.
The way he thinks. The way he
You're
thinks.
too busy. Listen, we've been in this office for about 2 hours. Well, an hour. And
I've been in here for 6.
And the most important thing you spoke about is going for a Thai massage.
Which is amazing.
So, I mean, see, this is the real stuff, mate. You've literally just wasted 15 minutes talking about players, and I bring the word Thai massage into it.
Not a waste.
And
It wasn't
suddenly,
a waste at
but it
all.
was a waste because it's
Thai massage. The Thai massage was amazing.
What's the difference between a normal massage and a Thai massage?
Well,
Apart from
that's going behind the double paywall. That's a super chat. I basically.
I imagine it has to be given by
Well, yeah,
a Thai.
A Thai person giving you it, but it would be one of the key elements of it.
do they have a different technique?
Just amazing, the different technique is. Literally went in this
From the
room,
LinkedIn.
the bed, the bed's against the wall. So I'm thinking, okay, sound, yeah. So there's going to be a lot of stretching.
Did the wall have a hole in
They're
it?
like, get dressed. No, sadly, get undressed and put the towel over. Like, obviously, leave your bills and put the towel over you. Blah de blah. Done that. Comes in, starts like massage, like hot cloth all over.
The Hoff came in.
The Hoff.
Jump in my car.
The old red shorts on all over. Hot cloth all over you. And then starts massaging, so you're there. And then the next minute, I was thinking, what's by my hand? Because I was laying there against the wall, yeah? But this side's getting massaged. So I had like my head and I just looked and seen a knee. And I was like, yeah, just close your eyes and start laughing. Because they literally climb basically on top of you as they're massaging you.
Are they small?
Yeah. Look, they're not that small, baby. They're not
How small would they have to be?
to climb on you?
Well, you're
all
not.
over.
Well, like I'm taller than you.
Yeah.
So it's like
I've literally...
That was the most polite way.
I'm not being funny, right? I've literally got no issue. Other people have, it seems to have issue with the fact that I'm not 6 foot.
Taller than you.
Really weird. Oh, to you, she was about that big. Right, so literally your nipples, they'd have probably been all over your nipples like a rash. I mean,
Depends which end they started at.
yeah. But it was amazing. It was amazing, very relaxing.
how long was it now?
Hour, yeah. Some fellow was having an hour and a half after me. He was living it.
Extras.
They did 2 hours. I mean,
What the 1.5 hour special?
I don't know.
An hour of massage and half an
Listen,
hour.
I don't know. But I'm saying.
Have you ever had a massage?
No,
Yeah,
they do a
yeah.
2-hour massage. I'm saying.
See, did you get I had one. Not my last birthday, my birthday before. So when I was 20,
Yeah.
my bird actually she got me at there's a really nice resort in Birmingham. Hard to say. I know Birmingham's a shithole. But there's any place in Birmingham.
I've got.
that's nice.
You know what? That knowing people say.
It's called Resorts World.
I've never been to Birmingham.
I don't think so.
Apart from going to the match.
Well, it's areas of it
I've been
that are
here.
nice, but it's
Oh yeah, I've been to the NEC, but that, again, that's not.
No,
doesn't
no.
really count, does it?
for the most
The
part.
cultural part.
But it's so I went to the Resorts World and it was like 45 minutes. It was quite expensive. And it's like, they're like, right, do you want it soft, medium, or firm.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll take it firm, sir.
I'll see how it gets on.
Yeah. She was like, tell me if you want to change it, and it was like, it was weird. It felt like it was like 10 minutes. Like you proper zone out.
So quick, doesn't it?
The thing about a massage is like,
did you get like the whole elbows in your back and shit, like that whole?
Well, she didn't hurt me.
Because I asked for firm.
Yeah.
Literally, I spent most of it like.
Well, I have a sports massage every 8 weeks because of my back. And
Yeah.
That
one's proper.
one's sometimes I have to say.
Basically, hit you with a hammer.
I literally am like sweating, like with panic because it's hurting that much.
Yeah.
I have to go. You'll have to stop for a minute because like she does like your knuckles in your arm.
It's elbow.
Like,
She was like.
You feel great after it, but it hurts, man.
She had her elbow there, and she's like pushing all the knots out into my neck.
Yeah.
So it like starts
Yeah,
your mid back and pushes you. It's like
This one was firm, but it wasn't knuckle. It wasn't. Proper,
it was
elbow.
It
was good.
It was like them ones are more like to make you feel better in terms of just generally.
Like proper,
I mean, I've been getting a lot of physio and a lot of sports massages, and they do, and it all works. I mean,
You're demanding job role.
well, it's because I sit with my neck like that so much when I zone out.
I'm
When he gets
constantly in
questions.
Germany.
Trains on Germany, it's like the German train look. So
That's
again,
what he's got.
but no, it does. You know what? A good massage is probably better than most pills or.
Yeah, without.
And the mad thing is, this is the mad thing. I've had a bad back for years, and I went to see the physio, and he was literally like, right, we can sort that dead quickly. And I think a lot of people are carrying around a lot of problems, but they're carrying around a lot of back injuries or neck injuries that could be easily solved. But we have this thing of like, we're all like, well, you go to the doctor and then you wait 8 weeks for the doctor to get you a thing and blah blah blah. Whereas if you're willing to just pay a little bit of money and go and see somebody, you can get it sorted really quick. And that's not me saying that, private healthcare and all that. I mean, if you've got problems, you can get them sorted quite quickly.
It depends how much it affects you. Like,
Yeah.
So if you do have to go and pay sometimes to get this stuff because, like you say, my dad got an injury in the side of his leg, and he went to the doctors about 7 weeks ago. And he was like waiting for an appointment. They were like, "Yeah, we'll send you the thing," and it's like 3 months or something before he sees anyone. I was like, I can't sleep, and I'm like,
and the thing is, it's like, I suppose it's like if you've got a toothache, you're not just gonna grin and bear it, are you? You go and see, and if you can't get, you go and see your dentist and you get it sorted right there, then. It's the same with like people just carry around pain, and all pain does, and I'm gonna go full Yoda here, it just turns into anger. Pain literally turns into.
It shortens all your patience.
It just turns into anger, and you get like
and more pain.
A good massage can solve so many problems. Like when I've had them recently, afterwards I feel.
You go home and your mortgage has been paid for.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. But you feel all like congested and everything because all the shit is coming out of you, and that's what I only get like a small. I get like 10 minutes of like right in the area that needs. The physio tells the girl what I need, and she just whacks me about for 10 minutes.
Would you ever consider something like acupuncture?
I get acupuncture.
How is that? Because that's always something that looks.
Basically, it depends.
It's weird. Have they done that? No one. Yeah.
No, not on my head. I've got a bad back.
All in your back.
No, I know, but sometimes they'll whack one and it's.
No one's done that. No, basically, so the guy was like, have you ever had acupuncture? And I was like, no. And he went, all right, do you mind? And I was like, no. And basically, he started putting them in, and some of them do hurt. It depends where they are, depends how tender the area is.
How does it work? Is it going into nerves?
Right, so it goes into your back, and basically, what he said, I said, what does that do? And he said, basically, when I throw something into your back, your body responds by, it's almost like, like when you do hot and cold treatment. So your body responds. So when you've got like a bad back or something, your body might have got used to the pain,
right,
and mightn't have basically stopped fighting. Or a lot of bad back, I think mine's like this. It's because muscles aren't getting used properly, and if you've had a certain posture since you were a kid, let's say, like I don't walk upright properly. I always seem to be slumped, and I sit slumped,
especially if you're tall.
And then when you talk, so
when I stand up straight, I'm like 5'11".
But when you stand up, what makes it worse is when you stand up straight, you start to hurt more because you are suddenly using muscles that you haven't been using, so you automatically go back to slump. So what basically things like acupuncture do is it's hitting those muscles that aren't being used, and your body goes, fuck's sake, what's that? Releases the blood into that area, and then the blood starts healing that area in parts where you, and that's basically what it is. So you'll whack in 3 or 4, and it depends. Sometimes I'll go in it, I'll be like, oh, that hurt. You can feel, and you can always feel like it will release straight away.
The real thing with acupuncture is your body's made up with like chakras and energy points, which flows around your body to the blood and everything. So what they do is they'll put them on energy points in your back. But when I've had it, and they put this one in the front of your head here, and like it goes in, it doesn't really hurt when it goes in, but they'll occasionally tune it. Oh my god! And sometimes, mate, it's like it's just, the pain's unbelievable for like a split second. It's like you can feel like the end.
Your whole body just goes
because it's like
127 hours. You know, where he like pulls his nerve, and it's like. Have you seen that film?
Just like that.
Have you seen?
I have
that
seen
film?
that film.
No.
Yeah.
You've not seen them when he saws to his own hand or arm,
Oh, I don't know.
and the camera goes like into the arm, so you can see him.
But like he like you can see like the nerves, it's like
nerves,
tiny little
that's
hairs,
all.
and like he pulls it, and it's like just like a ear-piercing screech.
Yeah.
Like it's a sound version of what you would feel.
No. Well, that's what it's when they tweak it because it's on you, like one of your chakras.
The best bit about
Your nerve endings.
one of the best bits about getting the physio is there's a bit like there'll be a bit on your back and he'll feel it and go, that hits that, doesn't it?
I like that skill of just knowing where I'm not.
I've just been saying this. Remember I said to you the other day about me side, right? So me calf. So when she was massaging like me legs, like the right side, she like done the right hand side dead quick, and then on the left hand side, he started massaging it and then stopped at the calf, and then went back.
He's just getting up and going.
I mean, he's getting back, right, and she kept going back to the calf, and every time she kept going back to it because she could feel obviously where the knot was in my leg, which is amazing, isn't it? Because a physio once said to me, when you push your muscle, the muscle should just flow, and if you're pushing it and it doesn't, that's because that's where the tension is. So that's how they know how to it. Your muscle's supposed to go like that, you see, when they push it.
I debated buying.
That's how they go back to where it's tight and stuff, because there's no give in the muscle.
Yeah, I saw on you know, you get like the Facebook promoted ads and stuff. I saw there was one for. It was like a back realigner, and it was like all you because my shoulders go forward and I've
Slap it on.
Yeah, so you like, and it pulls. Is it good?
I got to fix this one because my last time I'd gone to the physio, she was just like, basically, because
I was really debating
saying that, right? So I've had 2 shoulder operations for various things, but my muscles have shortened here. So if I do lifting or anything, I just get a pull right across my chest. It's like the worst pain ever. So every time I'd gone to see her, she's just like, your posture's horrendous.
Yeah.
It's like your chest is right. She said, you're supposed to be like that. Right, so I do that now, and I just feel that stretching right there. So you put this thing on, and
It squares out, doesn't it?
Pulls your shoulders back.
Is it good?
You're supposed to use it every day for like 3 months, and it realigns your whole body.
Because I debated buying it.
3 months. No, it's good. It is, when you put it on, it's good. It's just you have to remember to do it. But it is good. It just makes it, just puts you back. It'll probably be good for you. It just puts you
my
back.
back problems, I'm illustrating my back problems now. I have a hip problem, and it's because of this.
I think that's where
Because
my
I
hips
sit,
come from.
I sit like that, and when I went to see the physio, he said to me, one of your legs is shorter than the other. And he went, it's not really shorter than the other. He said, your hips are aligned. And he went, you sit with your cross leg? And I went, yeah. And look at me now, I'm sitting with cross leg.
Put your leg down.
Do you not have like? Does it go dead?
No.
See, that's my. Like, I could do that, but after 10 minutes, I have to go like that.
No, so every time when he's doing the physio, he'll do bits and then he'll get your legs and then check it again against each other. I mean,
It's mad, isn't it?
you go in, you go, oh, I've been having a couple of problems with this side, and he'll do a few things, and he goes, is that it? And you go, yeah, and then he'll do a couple more, and you go, is it now? And you go, no, and you're just like,
Yeah, I did. Cause like,
it's mad, you carry around all this pain all the time, and you go and see someone, and you can just sort it straight
Well,
away
you
for
used
you.
to do it with my hands like that, my physio. And like one hand would be like that, and then he'd like take your arm back, go back the other way, and then go, right, what's it like now? And it'd just go level. And
wow.
Be like, be walking.
like a fucking.
But that's what it's like. So what it is there'll be a subtle thing in your back, your leg will be a bit, and you start then compensating, so you start walking like over to one side, but then that just causes more problems.
But he said to me, he was like, you know, and I first went in, I was thinking, I'm going to need a hip replacement and all kinds, because that's the way your mind goes. And he's just like, no, I can get that sorted, don't worry, a few sessions, we'll get that sorted. I mean, I still get loads of pain from it, but it's not as bad as it was, and it's not all interconnected now. Doesn't feel like if I've got pain there, and then I was getting pain up here, and then I was getting pain through the neck. A lot of that's gone now, and I'm still getting hip pain, but it will be because if you've been everything's. It's like when you played football. It's like if you get an injury, you're always if you're carrying an injury in your knee and you start running funny, you're going to get pains everywhere else because all your body has to realign, and that's what he was saying to me. Basically, everything is going to be. If you've got one problem, then everything gets. It's like sounds stupid. It's like if you ever get a blister, you start holding your foot weird, and then everything starts hurting.
Like walking on the side.
Yeah, and everything starts hurting all the way up. Everything's interconnected. So
the moral of the story is go and get a massage.
you can get a Thai massage.
Get it all.
Try not to go to the ones with the red lights outside, though.
What's the thing, sir? I'll start looking.
It's one by Goodison.
Is there?
I seen it the other week.
With the red lights outside?
It was in one. It's by where Argos was.
Anfield?
It's down the side, and I just seen it. Just said massage open, and there's just a woman in the front thing, and there's just a red light, and I was just like, yeah.
Is that what it means?
But I mean, unless it does spell danger as well as Billy Ocean taught us all.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't
you listen to the police songs? Roxanne,
Don't
you don't have to be on the red light.
Well, your red light, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. No, I mean, you haven't got an ear.
No.
You need to tune in. For
Yeah,
the
we had that.
quintessential sting.
There was one place. There's one place in Northampton called Soft Touch Bodyworks, and the positioning of
Soft
it.
touch.
It's like it's in the back row.
That's not very good promotion, is it? Soft touch. If it was actually a brothel.
Yeah, but it's also a massage place.
Oh,
So that's what I mean. It's marketed as a massage place.
yeah.
But you just have to look on their website.
Yeah, they generally are.
It was just weird. Like I didn't get how overtly open they were with it. So like,
So go on. The website you go on.
So the actual position of the place, because my mate went.
Yeah.
And the genuinely did.
Yeah.
And it was opposite a. It was in like an industrial estate opposite a Juicens.
They always are.
Opposition.
Yeah.
They always are. There's one in.
Like if this was Joe and he was coming out of Lidl, he turned right,
and that's
and he was
soft touch.
He's gone to soft
So
touch.
on their website, what does it say?
So it was like, what's it? So it gives you like your packages.
Yeah, so like back massage.
Back massage, blah blah blah, and then there's like a drop down bar, and it was like plus. Blah, blah.
So it's like
I'm gonna Google it right now.
Yeah, so it drops down, and it's like the old drop down. So you can have like fried rice, normal rice, noodles. Well, you can get this.
Yeah, but I want to see what the selection
There's
is.
one in St Helens. I used to go to a few times.
Look, so
The
yeah,
red light on.
the Soft Touch Bodyworks, Northampton's #1 massage venue, #1 massage parlour in Northampton, the biggest, busiest, and best Northampton.
How many massage parlours has Northampton got?
Go on then.
So it's
Get it on and pass it over to me.
All ladies, and I'm going to name these people.
Yeah.
No,
Don't
but
name them.
what does it say?
So I'm just going to give you. So that's just the jargon at the start.
Gemma.
Yeah.
That's it.
So here we are. So that's what it looks
Actually, all the
like.
ladies' names.
Top class, reliable ladies, always required.
Okay.
So we'll pick a package.
Yeah, I mean that's yeah. I mean,
Heaven sent, desirable devotee,
hang on.
curvy vixen.
So this is a massage.
This is a massage parlour.
All right, go to.
Sensual Sarah, stunning brunette, bouncy body.
Oh, behave yourself. This can't be
Right.
a real massage.
No, genuinely, like. So we'll go. Right.
a Twitter account. Facilities,
I want to go.
sticky walls.
This is
Right,
bizarre.
let's go prices.
Why is it berserk? We've done a whole thing. We did a whole thing on that place in Birkenhead.
No, but I just mean because that's quite open, isn't it?
Well,
that's what I mean. I'm
That's
not
how you
saying.
get round it, isn't it? At the end of the day, are the police? Do you think the police are really asked about brothels? There's prostitutes on the streets that the police have to make sure don't end up in bins, dead. It's not going to go away, is it? It's not going to go away.
I just meant because that is quite open, isn't it? That's what I meant. I'm not saying it doesn't.
But nowhere on that website will it say sex.
No, so it goes, look.
Literally nowhere.
So massage and prices. So a half-hour massage, basic, house fees 50. If you want a massage, it's 15 quid.
Okay.
But a girl's fee on top of that, 25 quid. So that's how they market it.
So it's 40 quid for a shag.
Yeah. So you could have
For half an hour.
You could have a 3/4 hour massage for 40 quid, but then you pay an extra 50 if you want room 1, which is the weirdest looking sort of place to have a massage.
I love the way you're so fascinated by
Well,
this.
I'm just amazed.
This is room 1 at the massage parlour.
That's got a double bed. It's like a big telly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Look at that.
So
Imagine a full Sky Sports package.
So if Trevor from Dewson's comes out and
Yeah.
wants a massage in
Yeah.
room 1, how much is it costing him?
Depends on what's the table. Let me go to ladies. All ladies.
Go on then. All ladies.
Who do you want?
I don't know.
Do you want Alex?
Alex,
Angelica,
go on.
Bonnie? We'll go for Alex.
Alex, just, you see the first one you said, go on.
Massage extraordinaire Alex is a cute little English blonde who is a Sylvette size 8, very busty figure.
Okay.
This leggy blonde stands
She
at,
can't be that leggy if she's little.
stands at 5'8" and is a very versatile lady.
5'8". No, there is.
She's versatile. So she's versatile.
So she's versatile, right? Hang on,
You
this.
can play a left wing and up front.
Yeah, yeah.
Who will have you salivating and coming back for
She's
more.
the Alan Harper of the massage business.
Pass me down, mate.
Fucking James Milner there.
Oh, I'm not having it. Hang on. She's not massaging me. She stood against the wall frolicking. So what does she do?
I think, he might
That's
say.
just like, sorry love, we're going on holiday to
We're going
Northampton.
to Northampton. That's berserk, mate. So how much is Alex?
Okay.
Oh, look at him. Look at the face like
So
that.
profile, age 30s, height 5'8", dress size 8, bust size 34 double D. Even says if she's a smoker. All in services.
All in.
FS, Reverso, DT, Dom, Foot Worship, GFE, Prostate Massage, COD.
Prostate massage! That's the only massage you can get is a prostate one. An internal massage.
Open 7 days a week.
She is all day on.
So how much is it costing to have Alex in room 1?
I don't think it.
I don't think it works. I don't
No.
think the full price list is
Oh.
I think the price is.
negotiable.
No.
So the price is. I think that it's a flat rate.
Yeah.
Then you just pick the girl. So say you wanted.
If you want to get in the door.
Yeah, if you wanted an hour executive massage,
Yeah.
it cost you 40 quid to get in,
Yeah.
and then it cost you 80 quid
Choose
that's
a
for
pen.
Alex.
80 quid on top. So 120. So Trevor from Dewson's got 120 in his arse pocket. He can have a massage and Alex for an hour.
Yeah.
Fair play.
And he can go over the road and get a bit of wood.
He can go.
He's bringing that with him.
Hey.
There was one in St Helens that I used to always drop off at. It was at exactly the same, just in some industrial site where nowhere near anyone's house or anything. So you're not going to get complaints of like, there's not going to be any phone calls going. There's something going on over the road. Dead quiet place. Police don't give them. Why would the police care? At the end of the day, it's going to happen. They've got loads of other things to worry about than people paying. Unless like trading standards are going to turn up and say.
But that's
Yeah,
what.
It's going to be like the old speakeasy, isn't it? Maybe like when you watch like Bugsy Malone and all that, where everything spins around.
Yeah,
Suddenly it's a club. The next minute it's just everyone's just drinking
bowling
water.
alley.
Yeah, it's a bowling alley.
But like, that's what's weird for me is like, it's so discreet in terms of where it's placed, but the website's so open. Like if you're the police, you just go on that website. Well,
But there's not, for me, it's like
the
everything
map,
else,
really.
isn't it? What's the
I'm
incentive?
not saying they're asked, but I'm saying
No,
why
yeah,
be
that's how
that
easy it
discreet?
would be,
But
yeah.
nowhere on that website mentions actual sex.
No, of course, just girls.
Sure
Thing.
they're getting out.
There's nothing. This is where, for me in this country, everything. So that should be the case. So if you want that, you want that. If you want to smoke weed or something, that should be the case as well. Go somewhere.
Like a weed shop.
Like have a like a cafe, like Amsterdam. Go somewhere where you want to smoke it. It's not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know what you're
You
getting.
know what
go
you're
in
getting.
there.
You can go in. You can sit down. You got all the choices. The place is regulated. It's paying tax. It's paying all the fees. You go in. You get what you want, and then you go home. And for me, that's the that for me is like, why do people make things so hard for each other? Why? All right, if you went to that club, say that club was regulated, that someone could go in there once a month and go, right, are you all right? Did you know what I mean? Like, are you all right? You're not locked up, or you're doing this for your own free will, aren't you? You know, so there's no like sex trafficking and all that.
Yeah.
Problem is, at the moment, while it's all on the streets or all these places are a little bit shady, there could be cases of sex trafficking and all that, and that's it's mad. It's like we all want to be so like pure about everything, that we miss the bigger picture of like these things will happen anyway. So why not just fucking earn a bit of tax on them? Make sure everyone's safe in there. Make sure everyone's got good working standards. It's like that one we spoke about over the water. You know what you're gonna get. In everything, it's clean. It's clean. That's the
really
major
clean.
review for it. It was clean.
It had to be, didn't it?
It's clean. So
Been too clean.
Interesting.
I saw in the comments of the last AOB, people are not fans of our Slavic accents.
No.
I see now.
So let's just stay clear for
But I always feel like on this show that we do topics and we do things, and then they save their own time, and then
you move
we
on.
go on to the next thing.
Yeah, definitely, there's been a lot of trends in this show,
There has.
to name a few.
Oh.
Nicky Knowles, Big Nick.
Big Nick, mate.
We had R. Kelly for a bit.
It's gone very quiet on the R. Kelly front,
Yeah.
which is probably.
I'm glad we never got that graphic made, because it would be not being put to its full use.
No, we would have. No.
I felt like I'd be obliged to do an R. Kelly. It's like, well, he's not in prison. Still.
That's it. He's still ducking and diving.
Well, it's funny how things, you know, if you'd gone back 6 weeks ago, you couldn't escape like Brexit. You just couldn't escape it. Like, and then they were like, right, the extension is 6 months down the line. Excuse me, and then it's like they go away and like nothing happens. Literally, then we're going on holiday. Well, it's like, yeah, we'll sort that out when we come back.
Yeah.
We'll sort that out when we come back from holiday. You know, it's been that kind of thing. It's weird the way we just.
It's weird how something can be so all-encompassing of the media.
Yeah.
For like, I remember like weird example, Haiti, that earthquake that happened when I was in year 7, and it was all everyone talked about for about 3 weeks, and then nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nothing was like, are they getting aid? Are they getting? How have they come back from it? Are they? Where are they now? Like I didn't see a single thing. Like it's just everything comes and goes in waves, doesn't it? Like when you jump on and you get off. Like when the next big thing comes.
I watched on when was it, Sunday night, a film on called Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, and it was like a memoir of some woman who'd been.
What the fuck?
Well, that's essentially it. It was a memoir of some journalist who basically in the early 2000s, her news company, whoever it was, CNN or someone said to her, or said to people, right, we need, the big story is Iraq. No, Afghanistan and Iraq.
What year is this, sorry?
It was very early 2000s. So they said to a couple of people, we need you to move to like Afghanistan. And she was like, what? Like, well, you won't have a job, so it's up to you. So she moved to Afghanistan.
This story, yeah.
She moved to Afghanistan. And the film's quite like funny, but it's one of those where it starts off a little bit funny and then just gets a little bit darker as it goes on. Tina Fey in it, and it was good. But it was that idea of like, by the time it got to like 2006, 2007, the company were like, she had been on the TV for 6 months, and she's like, all kinds is happening here, it's a mess, this, blah, blah. And they were like, no, the story's in Iraq now.
There's a housing crisis now.
Yeah, well, they were like, the story's in Iraq now. We're not really, nothing's happening in Afghanistan. He said, yeah, but there is loads of stuff. But there isn't, is there? There's nothing that you can go and put on the news. But there's loads happening in Iraq, because that's where we're like kicking ass and all this. And it was just that idea of that, there's stuff happening all over the world, but if the camera's not pointing at it, then it doesn't really matter, does it? You know what I mean? You get that all the time. 1 minute you've got the big story in the world, and the next minute you're not.
It's gone, hasn't it? It's because everything moves so fast, and people are looking for the next thing, aren't they? You can stretch something out for a week, but then once there's almost like a point where people go, yeah, all right, I understand that now. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of the problem or the end of the story,
it's not
but
that.
the next thing even arrives then. And then
But it's not even the next thing arrives, it's just people's attention spans. People just get bored of the story. It's like, again, going back to Brexit, people are just like, you hear loads of people say, oh, I'm not bothered what happened now, I just want it sorted. It's just like people are bored. It's like with the Trump thing, it's like no one now, and this is what Trump probably wanted, is Trump can do whatever he wants, everyone just goes, it's Trump, so what?
It's just gone on for too long, though, that's why.
That's it, but that's the point. It's like, I know a lot of these people probably say, right, if you can ride that first wave and you don't do nothing, if you stay in and you can cope with the pressures in those first few months of whatever scandal it is, you'll be all right, because people will forget. You look at, like, what was the one the other day? Mel Gibson's going to play like he's going to play like Father Christmas in some Christmas film.
Or like Taika Waititi's going to play a Nazi, but he's in his new film. See that stuff?
No.
And he was like, I didn't research it because Nazis are fucking cunts, were his own words. And it was like,
Yeah,
okay, fair enough.
we need to tell Wayne Hennessy. No, but it's like Mel Gibson is like come out as being he doesn't believe the Holocaust happened, and now he's getting roles as Father Christmas, and it's like.
But then Liam Neeson's stuff goes on for a week.
Whiskey, fucking Tango Foxtrot. You know what's going on? It's like the Wales is like, yeah, it's Mel Gibson. It's like, yeah, but those things. What I don't remember what he said about the Holocaust. Yeah, he's a denier.
But people will just, because to some people that's just it's a separate issue totally, isn't it? It's a separate issue for a lot of people. So what his beliefs or whatever it is totally separate to him being an actor. He's just Mel Gibson being an actor. You know, Mel Gibson the person they're almost not interested in. Mel Gibson.
That's worrying though.
Yeah. Oh, but listen, that goes on.
Especially when a role like, no, I can understand if it was like a, you know, if it was a little bit more like fucking like
Well,
Santa
be
Claus.
like, you know, what's the if the film's any good, that's all they'll be
Well, that's it. Oh, Mel Gibson is resurrected. It's like Tiger Woods, isn't it? Tiger Woods. Everyone's made up because he's won, you know, under the Masters. It's like, do you remember what he did? Don't you? Nope. No, because it's like
But it becomes, because the thing with Tiger Woods is when you're that famous and you're that successful. Like he's only like 4 or 5 the Open Championships away from Jack Nicklaus, and it was like Jack Nicholson, sorry, and it was like
I mean,
Jack Nicklaus as well, maybe.
Johnny's back.
yeah, I was gonna say, but it was, and like because he was such a breath of fresh air for golf. Because I said to my stepdad, because he's a massive golf fan, and he was like, because of his back injuries and stuff, and he just fell off a cliff. He just became a nobody for 10 years, and then because he's had this insane rebirth of basically coming back and being as good as he was when he was 20, everyone was like, how has he done this? And they remembered how much they idolised him as a kid. Especially my stepdad would have been, what, 20 when he first started watching Tiger. He's now 45, and it's like it reminds me of that age. So he was like, that's why I was so on board and so happy that he came back, because it's a redemption story.
Everyone loves
He loves him, Brainy loves him,
yeah. Everyone loves a redemption story. The Yanks, the in this country where we love the underdog. That's our thing. We love the underdog. We're a big, thing. In America, it's redemption. All about redemption. There's nothing better. In fact, I think at times they throw people under the bus because they want to see them come back and be stronger and they'll actively try whatever they can to help someone get that leg back up again, because they love that narrative. It's such an American thing. We love people who try but fail. You know what I mean? We love like Eddie the Eagle Edwards, like literally the worst fucking competitor in winter. We love that fella, and he wasn't even British. Remember the fella who swam in the Olympics, like the African fella? And he was literally, couldn't do 50 metres.
Well, like both Tim Henman and Andy Murray. Both absolutely adore Andy Murray more because he could actually play tennis quite well.
Andy Murray's amazing though.
No, I know, but
at
the beginning.
At the beginning he wasn't, because he had taken over from Tim Henman as being, you're good, but you're not Roger Federer.
But to be fair to him, he's been world number 1.
No, he is.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Andy Murray's a fantastic tennis player.
Henman's the classic one.
But it was like, when I first got into tennis, I would have been about 6 when it was Henman, and my dad was like, "Yeah, Henman's good, but he's not. Like I say, he's not Federer.
Well,
he's none of these greats." But
then
we had Murray.
But look at
the first 2 years, it was like, "Oh, we've got another Henman." And then 3, 4, 5 years later, it was like when he first won Wimbledon and was in the Olympics in 2014. It was like, shit, he's a fantastic tennis player.
But what about the other one, Greg Rudensky, who changed from being Canadian to British because he knew that as soon as he said he was British, everyone would be like, "Yeah, we've got one."
Declan Rice did that, didn't
he? Loads of. Yeah, I mean, slightly different. He did it for actual sporting reasons, but some of them do we've had a few who change nationality because they know suddenly it'll elevate them. Well, Mo Farah was born in London, wasn't
he? Yeah,
Somalia.
His parents are.
Yeah, I wasn't born in London though.
He was lived over there till he was 8 and then come over.
I mean, that's slightly different. I mean, 8. I think if you go through the school system in this country...
But in sport, loads of people have done it. America, Martin and Navratilova was Czech.
Yeah, but again,
that's played for America.
Yeah, but that was slight. Well, thing was...
We've had loads. And cricket. Ellen Len.
Yeah, but again,
one of the great
political problem.
They just changed like that.
Political, that though, isn't it? South Africa.
Loads.
Oh, yeah, of course. What's his name? One who's now fighting to save elephants.
Any sports person ever.
Yeah,
the cricketer,
right,
what's
yeah.
his name? He's Zimbabwean.
I don't watch cricket.
Oh, Kevin Peterson.
Kevin
Yeah.
Peterson. Well, people will do it for political reasons, of course, but some of them.
It's like
Harvey Weinstein. I wouldn't surprise me if Harvey Weinstein suddenly got
Cracker at tennis.
But about
Plays off
redemption.
six, plays
No,
off
it's about
six in
redemption.
golf.
No, it wouldn't surprise me if like someone just
won
went.
FA Cup.
Someone just said,
Versatile.
he's all right. Whatever.
He's like Gemma. Can play off the wing.
Gemma can play anyway.
Play off the wing, and she's a great fit.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying, but again, no, it's in the story, isn't it? If you actually think of you think of films and stuff, and it's like something's then narratives are in a lot of films of like, oh, down on your luck or something's happened, and then they come back
Rags to riches again.
Boxing
trying to
style.
come back and different, Rocky and things. Then narratives have always been there, and we do, I suppose, though. If you think of like a situation like that, it is heartening, isn't it, to go, someone's done something wrong and then they come back to be like, the virtues are good and stuff like that.
But we're the other way in this country. We get people to the top, and then when we get to, they get to the bottom.
But that's very British, isn't it? You vilify people that generally are quite fine. E.g. Raheem Sterling. Like, he's not.
He's done nothing wrong.
Done literally nothing wrong, and he gets vilified, and now the media are like, probably wasn't the best person to pick, considering all the things that he does for communities and anti-racist campaigns, and then they're like, now they're up his arse.
But they've had a few good goals on for years, haven't they?
Yeah.
And they'll go back. They're only waiting. They're only waiting for them. They're only waiting for a mistake. They're literally only waiting for them to.
So I'm surprised nothing came of the City playing stuff. They didn't just go.
It was him. Like the camera just went.
He actually wrote the song.
He wrote the song. He wrote it.
No, but that's what we do in this country. We love knocking you down.
Yeah.
But I think that's a society thing.
I think it's massively a football thing as well.
But I think it is
a society. We don't want any. We don't like to see anyone else get on. We don't like to see anyone. Do well for themselves.
Except it's the World. Obviously, it's different for you, but the World Cup. The amount of people that come together for England in the World Cup's nuts. Like the World Cup just gone. Like being at home and seeing literally every single person in my entire city, like what cities, it's very, very close to in the city, come together every single
Very
weekend.
close. We're very close.
They got
bit like England.
Two more. We need two more brass houses.
Two more Morrisons and we're there. But there was but no, it's that weird.
But that used to be like that, Bales.
Because this is the thing for you. So I had I had a friend in second year of uni. She did psychology, and she said to, I had a bird at the time, so it was definitely a friend. She did a psychology course.
Full on Mila Kunis.
No,
okay.
But she had a she was doing a psychology course, and she asked me and my two other mates who are Asian, Muslim descent, and they
You're not
were-
Asian.
You're not Asian.
Me and my two other friends who are Asian.
Oh,
That still sounds like you're Asian.
You and your two mates are Asian. But anyway, go on, carry on.
She's just to get an opinion, and it was about culture. Like,
Okay,
what's culture to you two? And like I talked to you three, and they were like, culture's being together, community, a sense of belonging in.
Lads.
Carry on, mate. Come on.
There's like, and I was like, I couldn't tell you what culture really is in England, because with them it's like, for example, like my mate's granddad passed away, and in his entire city, town, because what's Gloucester? Gloucester's a city, isn't it? The entire
Has he got a cathedral?
Yeah,
the
entire of his community, over 2,000 people of the Muslim community in Gloucester came together in 48 hours to go to this community, to go to this funeral, because that's how quickly they turn it around. And it was like, you wouldn't get anything near that in England. Like I couldn't tell you really what culture is in England. Like what things that you can hold up and say, this is what England is.
Last night. That's your culture, isn't it?
No.
Well, it is though. That is your culture.
No, but I mean, as a general.
But no, that's the point.
That's a segmentation.
But I don't think we have English cultures though, because
that's my point.
But I think the point being is that
I actually said football.
No, I think culture comes down to. I think a lot of culture actually comes down to people coming together because someone is over them, and I think it's been that long since someone's been over us.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I think what happens is, especially when you think of like places like India and Pakistan and places like that, they've got really strong cultures because for so long they were getting ruled by the British. So therefore they had to like keep their cultures going because otherwise their cultures would be smashed by the British. It's that thing of coming together, and religion plays a part, of course it does. We haven't had that for so long since clearly, you know,
the empire.
You know, Romans really. I mean, the French probably just let us get on with it, but it's that. I think that's a big part of it. When you feel like your culture's under threat, you double down on it. I think that's what tends to happen. But I don't think we've had anyone forcing us. In fact, we've been.
I don't think you'd like it though if it was.
Which,
you know, like because people would argue that all of this like fucking Tommy Robertson shit, all of that is a culture.
Well, it is,
certain
isn't it?
people, right? And a lot of people don't like it, do they? That makes me uncomfortable seeing that. But in other countries, that would just be normal. That we're sticking together. Fuck you lot. We're, you know, you're coming after us. You know, the immigrants in this country are coming after Tommy Robinson and his boys. They're defending that culture of this, like, you know, what they are. We're all white and we do this. I think the thing what you've got with England is it's very diverse, but it's not, if that makes sense. There's lots of things in it which make it diverse, but there's no
unity there.
There's no unity whatsoever, and there's a stronghold of people who don't want it to be diverse. So, but it's all, everything's in flux where that's concerned, and you'll get that from both. You'll get that from you know, people from ethnic backgrounds who don't want to mix either, who want to just live their life in that thing and keep you out. But the same token, they're seeing that from.
The irony with this country, I think, is that the word you just use, flux, is really good, because this country is been essentially a mixing pot for thousands of years. Well, you know, whether it be the French, Romans, the Vikings, whoever.
Well, we've got a strong. We've had a bit of Irish, haven't we?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
I think this city does it quite well, really, considering the different melting pots of everywhere. Everything's come in. Irish, and we've had a lot of immigrants. We've had people migrating from down, you know, from Scotland, Wales, blah de blah, and it mixes. It's not amazing.
But it's like when the Romans, what have
they ever done for us?
Whatever they done. It was like when the Polish came, and everyone was saying the Polish were going to be terrible, but because they're white, you can't spot them in the street. They're just no. I mean, you can't. They're always wearing camouflage kecks,
and they're not. That's heavily religious.
That's always a good way to spot
or have a threatening religion.
Well, that's it. They've come in. They've come in, and at first was they're going to take all our jobs. They're undercutting us, blah blah blah. It's all bollocks. They were just prepared to work harder than other people. That's all it was.
For less pay.
For a little bit less pay. But even that didn't last that long, because they suddenly realised, hang on, why are we working for less pay when we do the job better and faster than other people? So that didn't last very long. So you don't get people now going, oh, these Polish, even though Polish tend to stick to the communities and then get all their own shops and stuff, because that's what everybody does. It's what we've been doing for years. It's why all the people who moved to Spain from England all live together and go and watch Only Fools and Horses and bars together. But it is that idea that as soon as you're a different colour and you've got a religion, then it's like you're an easy target to pick on, and you're not our culture.
But there'll be both from both sides, won't there? So if you went to live in Spain, say you and Sam were like, we're going to live in Spain, would you attempt to learn the Spanish language, and would you go to Spanish shops, and would you attempt to integrate, or would you just stick to just with other expats? Do you think?
I don't know, because I'd never moved to Spain, but
it's
no,
hypothetical.
No, but that's the point. You can't be I can't be either, because I'd never go, so it's hard to say I would.
Yeah. What do you think you would do, Bale?
Spain's a very Spanish country.
Michael Owen of the AOB, but I'd say Germany, for example, because I know a very base level of German, and I feel like I could learn German, and I would if I lived there.
So would you try to integrate, or would you be like, I'm English and I'm living in this community with the other 30 English?
I think German culture is fantastic. I think we could learn a lot from what Germany do on loads of fronts. So it's one of the few countries where, like, I look over the water to America, and you look far east and it gets really bad, but like of how luckily we have it. So like take Alabama, for example. They come out the other week or literally yesterday, that they didn't pass the abortion laws, and from 21 votes. Out of 21 votes, 3 people of them were women, and it was like they said no. In specifically in the instance of rape and incest, still can't have an abortion. And I look at that and I'm like, I wouldn't ever go there. And I get your point there, because like there's just some places like I can't even imagine myself living there because it's so far away from like my values. Whereas like there's only few countries where outside of England where, although it's shit, especially the political climate at the minute, that I'm like, we don't realise how good we've had it. We have it. The same with like healthcare and things like that. So it's like, I could go and move to Germany, but for me to move out of this country, I'd have to be in a place where I'm like, I'm willing to convert myself into your values. So yeah, no. So Spain, no. Germany, yes.
I think the problem with Spain is, it's for those very reasons why I don't think I could move there. Is because of the English community just doesn't seem nice. But I don't think, I'll be honest, I don't think I've got the ability. I wouldn't have the ability to learn Spanish. I don't think. I was terrible at languages. I really was. I can hardly speak English. I don't think but I couldn't put up with the views that seem to come out from those English communities in Spain. Some of them anyway. The English communities though. No, I bet you there's thousands of English people who live in Spain who've integrated and have boss lives. But there does seem to be that English community who, by purely being an English community, have already said, well, we're being English.
But we have that in this country, don't we?
But that's interesting.
Cause that's what I'm saying to you. That's what I'm trying
to... I do understand.
To just say, that happens here.
Put it in the mirror.
Well, it happens everywhere.
You've got to look at it
I
everywhere.
have no problem. Listen, I was thinking about this yesterday. I'd been watching something, I can't remember what it was. And it's that idea of... Remember when I watched that programme about the dogs, and I told you about it? I don't know if it's you were, but about the lad. It was all this programme on Netflix about dogs, but it led to this lad who lived in Afghanistan and was forced to leave to move to Germany. And when he went to Germany paid for him to have all this. They paid for him a flat and they paid for him to go to school. And the idea being that when he finished it all, he was going to live in Germany and pay taxes and all the other stuff. So in the long run, for a year or 2 years they would be paying this stuff. They'd have like 40, 50 years of him paying taxes and stuff. But he had this dog that was in Afghanistan, and it was him trying to get the dog to it was a brilliant story. But he kept on saying, like, not in like a horrible way, but he kept on saying, I don't actually want to be here. I want to be in Afghanistan. No, it wasn't Afghanistan, sorry, it was Syria. He was going, I want to live in Syria. He said, I want to help rebuild my home, my country. And I was thinking, how many people actually come to this country who just don't want to be here, but they've been forced to by wars, and they're terrified straight away. They come here, they don't want to be here, so the first thing they're going to do naturally is go somewhere where they feel safe, and that's within their own community. They mightn't speak the language, and that might take them a little bit of time. And it's all these things that I think people forget about. It's when you first get there, I think naturally if we all move to another country, the first thing we do is go, right, well let's go and find an English bar where we can go and watch the footy and we can be within friends and just, you know, relax a little bit, especially if you didn't want to be there. And then hopefully over time you'd start picking up the language and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, especially if you've been forced, like literally forced to go.
I'm just saying, for me, all of those places and here as well, we should all be just trying to live together. That's the thing. It doesn't matter whether you're a Muslim or you're, Jewish or you're whatever. If you're all just nice to each other and get on with it, it doesn't bother me what you're doing. That's your thing. But be nice to each other and live together. And as live in peace. John Lennon and all that. But that's the kind of thing. Get on with your own life. Life can be difficult anyway. You don't need all this external other shit that comes in.
That's interesting because, to bring it way back around to like Tommy Robinson, for example, like but Paul and Chris took a segment from their podcast and put it on YouTube, and it was talking about when Tommy Robinson got milkshake thrown on him. And
Wellington,
and they were saying, look, he's England has a lot of shit stains, and he's one of them, and he doesn't deserve to be beaten up. He doesn't deserve anything. Like, he deserves like old school kick me signs on his back, like custard pies in his face, just made to look like a clown.
Yeah.
And the amount of people in the comments on that were like, I don't agree with this, I'm unfollowing you. And it's like, it's weird because you're right in terms of that cultism, like taking sides and saying like, but he's not a racist. It's like, what? But it's like it's not even that you've said that yourself. and it's like nobody. I'm not saying he's a racist, but it's like it's that his intention is to diversify and segment people, the population. And that's what pisses me off about Tom Robinson. That's why, and it's the people who jump to his defence, saying, you know, he's not this, he's not that. Show me the evidence. It's like, but just look at his motives.
Yeah.
Look at what he's trying to do.
He's a racist, though. He's been called loads of times, like Farage has.
Listen, at the end of the day, that's what I'm saying, is that there'll be segments of Tommy Robinson living in this country in each individual culture who want to keep it together, and they're the enemy, which is exactly what he's doing, isn't he? He's going, Muslims are the enemy, or they're the enemy, or they're the enemy, or they're the enemy.
Isn't it?
When the reality of it is, listen, we're all here. We all get up in the morning and it's sunny today. Go out and just live your life. And
the
open doors for people. Say please and thank you, and just get on with your life.
The perfect retort to that, though, is that if someone says that, and it's in your comments, you go, "Are you a fan of Mo Salah? Are you a fan of Mane?" You know, it's a simple answer, isn't it? It's when you know.
That's when it suits people, isn't it?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Do you like? Do you like these people or not? You know, it's like if someone come in here now and went, and it was like a different ethnicity, and they said, "User 3 is scum." Why? Well, because you were white, Tommy Robinson's white, and Hitler was white, and whoever the next bad person was white. There's no difference, is it? It's exactly the same. Every time he says Muslims are doing this and Muslims, there's about 3 billion Muslims on the planet, isn't there? Or whatever it is. It's so to say it's exactly the same thing. There's no
I just think with stuff like that you can never win anyway. I just wouldn't get involved.
What do you think of there's been loads of thing this week about Farage, and he was on BBC twice.
So I just pulled up the video. So these are some of the comments. The two of you are complete and utter fuckwits. Your Asian hero of the week, the guy who actually milkshaked him, has also assaulted 2 women. What a pair of dickheads. Clearly not seen the full footage or done any sort of research. Well, you pair are open game for shakes being thrown at you. Let the shake war begin, blah, blah, blah. Did you watch all of the video? He pushed 2 women and we're trying to get the reaction. You're a shit stain. Shocking behaviour from the pair of you. Inciting violence, are we, boys? Yeah, I'm unsubscribing from Redmen TV after this. 5 are better spent elsewhere. And it's like all of the comments are this. And it's like, Jesus, like what? How are there that many people who are so polarised by that, this guy?
You know that there's that many people because of the platform he gets, and because of his followers, and because of where he turns up and who goes.
Well, that was going to be my next question. I was going to say, Farage this week, he was on Question Time last week, he was on BBC on Sunday, and then BBC stopped Have I Got News For You, because one of those Change UK people were on it. Said that they couldn't do that during an election, which was like, hang on, you've had Farage on this week, but is it better to put these people, because I showed you a video before tonight, Farage being asked a question in Wales, and it's a 2-minute video, and the guy keeps on asking him a question, I think he was a BBC reporter, and he keeps on asking him a question. He's saying, if we leave the EU, that's this much money that will be taken away from Wales, from this area that the EU have given us. How
do you supplement that?
How will Brexit sort that? And for 2 minutes he couldn't answer the question. He kept on diverting to other things and other things and other things. So is it better to actually give these people a platform on TV and make them answer questions, or is it better to put them off where they can have their little own cults? Because this week we've seen that guy who said he wouldn't rape a Labour MP.
Yeah,
when he's on his own when he's on YouTube, which he gets millions of views, he can say what he wants without a response, and he can keep that going. Tommy Robinson and his cronies, when he does his stuff, he says something and no one ever answers him back, or there's no retort to it.
He's got the mic, hasn't he? That's right.
That we've seen the American guy, Ben
Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro went on and was absolutely destroyed by Andrew Neil. I normally don't like, but he destroyed them. Absolutely destroyed them. So is it better to put these fellas on TV, put the spotlight on them, as long as you've got a strong host?
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the big problems with Question Time.
Yeah.
When Dimbleby was on it towards the end, he was so weak and he was letting people get away with stuff. And I don't think it's got any better under the new host. But if we have strong people grilling people and asking them real questions, we're going to get real answers, aren't we? Hopefully we're going to get real answers.
But they don't answer anything.
But isn't that the thing, though? If they don't answer it, isn't that where, if you've got strong...
Yeah, but if you had someone then, because I seen a thing with Farage last week, and you know, for Nigel Farage, the thing about Nigel Farage is a really good talker. If you listen to him, right, he's brilliant.
So is Tony Blair.
He's brilliant, right, at putting stuff across. But he falls down when he's questioned, because most of what he says is nonsense.
Well, it's pre-written.
So he's you know, he's well spoken and blah blah. But he was asked the same question 3 times last week. I think it was when John questioned time, and the fellow was like, "No, I know, but just give me an example of one country that's using the single market that's thriving." Or name me one country that just uses the single market. And he's going, yeah, but the point is, I'm saying...
He's a politician.
And the fellow went, no, I'm going to say, name the one country. And in the end, he went, well, I can't off the top of my head. He actually made them answer.
That's good.
The problem is, a lot of people would just go, you know, you're Nigel Farage. Well, the fella doing it, the host will go, nah, hang on, Peter, what about... And
that's the problem.
He wouldn't be able... You wouldn't have to answer it.
That's the problem with all those shows. When they're doing one-to-ones, you need a strong host. But as someone said this week, and we're not getting into political stuff as such, but someone said this week that, you know, we've got the European elections next week, and the Brexit Party, who haven't got one single...
They got the same seats as the Tories now.
Well, it's like they reckon that's going to split the vote, but they haven't got one single thing there. It's a
manifesto.
They haven't got anything. They haven't got anything. They got one single thing that they're saying, and yeah, they're winning the polls because obviously it's a protest vote. Fine, that's fine. But they haven't got anything. They haven't got anything. So no one's even asking that. There's that. You watched Black Mirror.
Yeah.
You watched the one where the cartoon wins the election.
Yeah. What's his bloody name? The dog.
It's like a blue cartoon dog, Waldo, and it's like he's just funny and witty. And in the end, people vote for him, and in the end, it becomes this.
But he becomes this
totalitarian society.
Hasn't an actor just won?
But in Russia, yeah, because
Donner is a piss take.
Well, no, because he plays the president on a TV show, and so this fella funded him, going, well, everyone already sees you as a politician,
dangerous.
So let's go and do it.
Well, that's what essentially that's what they're trying to do to The Rock.
But isn't that what The Rock?
The Rock, that's what they're saying. The next thing is like push him now towards the president.
But isn't that essentially what they did with Trump? They took a guy who
was in Home Alone 2.
Didn't they have that with Reagan?
By the way,
Reagan was an actor, but
he
kind of forced his way into politics as well, though. But he was only.
But isn't it about?
They're only the mouthpiece.
But isn't it about saying? You're right. Isn't it about saying? Actually, there's a really good line in Back to the Future when he goes, "Who's the president now?" And he goes, "Reagan." He goes, "Of course he's the president now. He has to look good on TV."
Well, that's it.
That's it, isn't it? At the end of the day, you're a spokesman on TV. If you've been seen on TV all the time and you come across well, and people think they know you because they've seen you from TV, they might vote for you because they'll go, "Well, I'm not voting for him because he tells me how it really is." Because that's what most politicians, decent ones, tell you what the world is. They don't. The fantasists, the populists, tell you exactly how you want it to be.
How you make it great.
I don't think there's any good politicians. I don't.
But
I think there is a lot of very good politicians, but the problem is they have ideals, and it normally means that they end up on the backbenches because their ideals don't allow them.
Who's the one that doesn't give a fuck? He's all right. Dennis Skinner.
Yeah.
He's boss.
But he would never become. Never become prime minister because he's not willing to. Essentially, play ball, is he?
That's what I'm saying. Ultimately, that's where politics.
That's where it falls down. I told you last week I watched that program about the girl in America and how she was trying to get into Senate by not taking any money, and it was this, and there was all these different women
thingy Cortez.
Yeah, Cortez, and they weren't prepared to take money off people. And the problem was that when it came to advertising and getting the message across, they couldn't, because at the end of the day, she was going around knocking on people's doors, and especially where it was like Queens, it was all flats. She couldn't even get in the building half the time. But if you can go on TV and get your thing across, where no one also can give you a retort, you can basically go, that person I'm fighting is a complete liar, and as long as it says on the bottom, this isn't actually factual, you get away with stuff. So it's everything now is you're bombarded through TV, obviously Facebook, which is how Trump won, and Brexit probably done the same thing. And it's all that comes from money, advertising money, and the money comes from pharma in America. It comes from guns, obviously. The NRA is such important, and it's the game's rigged, isn't it? Essentially,
interesting.
Like everything.
Just to go back to like what you were saying before about putting people like, do you call people out or do you let them just be? Like it's a hard one because I feel like you can't just let people like Tommy Robinson just go, because it does have to be addressed. But it's like the last time I remember being interviewed was on Question Times. He was in the crowd and they were talking about just his ideology and whether you know, is he really against the Islamic State? Is he really against Muslims as a religion? And there was 4 people there: the mediator, 2 women, and a caller. And you have to have people who know how to play the game, who know how to play, and that's exactly what happened with Ben Shapiro. It's like, you're getting angry, but I'm just like, and like your anger makes my point.
Yeah.
And that's what people on Question
You've got to
Time,
give them enough rope.
but it's what people on Question Time didn't understand. Like he was like, show me the evidence, and then the women are like, you're just racist. You're a racist. And it's like you're going down to his level, and he'll beat you every time.
Yeah.
Because that's how he's become famous. Because that's you gather ground by just telling people everything that they want to hear. Your ideology is fact. But then Akala was like the calmest bloke. I love Akala. He's incredibly knowledgeable on most subjects, and he was like just teaching him. It was like, let me just tell you some stories.
Yeah.
And he was like, what? But this, and he was like, just let me finish. And then he just, but like keeping that cool head. It's just, but you can't. That's how you do it. That's like Letterman style. Like you just sit someone down and you talk to them. And like it's a weird one for me because like this was coming up when it was the general election, first time I could vote, and Russell Brand. Did you watch The Truth?
Yeah.
Which was boss, and it was because it's nice to have a guy who's not got an agenda, because he doesn't vote. And he doesn't. And I read Revolution, and like I read his book and stuff. And it was really, it was cool to see this guy like who's not picking a side. He just says how basically fucked everything is, and how we move forward without picking a side. But then it was either a week or 2 weeks before the election. He had thingy him. What's his name? Who ran against Cameron for Labour?
Brown.
Oh,
Miliband.
Yeah, so he had Ed Miliband in for an interview, and he was like, and then so these millions of followers he'd brought up into his YouTube channel through preaching the political system's broken, the government's broken, we have to change, there needs to be a revolution in terms of how we vote in this country. 2 weeks before, he sat down with Ed Miliband on his channel and said, I'm going to vote Labour. And it was like, I'm a very much of a left-wing person, but it's like, you can't do that.
You've broke your own wheel.
Yeah, it's like you can't. And he tried to come out afterwards and say, "Well, I think all things considered, it's like, but you've just built an entire channel and you've wrote a book about this ideology and this new ethos that's going to take us into a new age." And then 2 weeks before you've caved, and it's like,
well, maybe
that pissed me off.
But that's the problem,
maybe
though, isn't
Brown
it?
Needed to go.
That's the problem, though, isn't it? Because that's the problem. It's left versus right all the time. So nobody. See, the best thing that would have happened there is he would have exposed Miliband for not knowing stuff, or tried to expose him, and then Miliband goes, no, I can tell you this, and I can tell you that, and I can tell you the other, and then everyone goes, fucking hell, he actually does know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But far too much happens where these people don't get exposed to anything, and when they do get exposed, it's too late in the game.
Yeah.
Well, all we want from our politicians, I think, is to see honesty and to see leadership and them to actually understand the problems of the modern day.
Oh.
So if you ask them a question like, imagine the first question, or imagine you got all the leaders right, and you just went,
you've switched off, fair enough.
No.
He did say we weren't doing politics, we've done 20.
It's not politics. I think it's the problem with politics. We're not being political. We're talking about the problems with. But imagine you sat down all the leaders and you just went to, there's no scripts, no nothing, and you just went, how much is a pint of milk? 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 And see what their answers were. Like, can you imagine?
Don't ask me, how much?
I don't know, but that's the point.
I get
1 point or 4.
I get the 4 pints.
Yeah. That's the point, isn't it?
It's
I'm just using that as a general question. But if you just said to someone straight off the bat, how much does How much you get social security a week? How much
Yeah, but they done this to.
What's the
they
living
done this
wage?
to Diggy,
yeah, what's the
didn't
living wage?
They done this to Diane Abbott, didn't he? And they done it to Jeremy Corbyn. He was like, "Oh well, I'll just have a look. Why doesn't he know?" And people were like, "Well, he hasn't got the answer to every fucking question.
Yeah.
I'll check." Is sure.
But you know what, though,
That's like me. That's like me coming to your office and saying, "Who was Everton's top goal scorer in 1961?" And then you're like, "Let me check."
But what I was going to say is though,
Perfectly.
it's not always the fact of how they've got the answer, if they've got the answer or not. It's how they deal with the
Okay.
question.
See,
If they're honest, and say,
politicians for me.
I don't drink milk, I drink almond milk because blah blah blah.
The biggest thing for me with politicians is they need to remember why they're there.
Yeah.
Like the reason we had a government in the first place was for everybody. It wasn't just for fucking London. It was for the whole country.
Yeah.
And there shouldn't be such a split in the wealth system and everything else in the country. It's ridiculous. So everybody, we shouldn't be using food banks in 2019. We shouldn't have clothing banks. We shouldn't have
11%
I'll
of
tell
the
you what,
population below the poverty line.
Exactly, there shouldn't be any of that. There
I
shouldn't
watched-
be ridiculous waiting list for our NHS. There shouldn't be any of that because
20,000
this money.
nurses.
Farage wants to.
Well, isn't it
privatise
4%
doesn't he?
owns 96% of the
Yeah.
wealth in this country?
Yeah.
How the fuck? How? So
Well,
all of that needs.
Well, I'll tell you,
scrapping.
I was watching. What was I watching last night? Watchdog.
Have you ever? Hold on. Have you ever started a sentence with without saying I was watching last night?
No, because it's
Because all
all
it does is what.
because all it, yeah, but it's education. I was watching Watchdog last night, as you do, and they were doing a thing about food shops,
Yeah.
and food and what they do with food, right? Where does it all go?
Like supermarkets and stuff.
Places everywhere,
Well, the likes of Costa.
Costa and everything.
Oh,
Right?
sorry.
No, whoa, right?
Go on.
So the woman's like, "What you doing?" Some of them, and this was off the back of actually, funny enough, I was in town on Tuesday, and I seen one of the restaurants in Bold Street actually come out with a big thing, and they were going to go round and give all their food to the homeless.
That's
By the way,
amazing.
which was amazing. I think it was the Vietnamese one halfway up.
Yeah, street food one.
So I thought it was amazing that, by the way.
Yeah.
But this was like, what did he do? And some of them like, yeah, well, at the end of the day, we'll do this. And one of them, this is genuine, right? They were saying we don't do it. There was like Costa and Starbucks and another one, Cafe Nero, shite. Like literally go out their way. So one of them, right? At the end of the day, every butty that is being unsold, they open it and they rub hand sanitizer on the food.
Just to say fuck it, we can't.
Just and then put it in the bins. And that's a policy. That's not.
Oh, so people can't eat them.
So people
can't
can't
eat
eat
them
them out
out
the
the
bins.
Jesus.
That's a policy of the company, right? And one of them said, "Yeah, well, there's a reason why we do it." And they went, "Why?" Well, it's to stop homeless people coming in the shop at any time of the day. They know they're not getting anything off us, so therefore, that's what we do.
And the proud of that.
And that's a policy. That is so that food literally for thought on those three companies. Everyone else is like, there might have been some of them were like, yeah, we do. At the end of the day, we'll someone comes and picks them up and they redistribute it. Some of them are like, we can't do it, and it's genuinely because of this reason or that reason, health and safety, whatever. Because I know I used to work at Tesco years ago, and I know at some point the food they used to throw in the bins was unreal. And one of the reasons is that they were terrified of getting sued.
Well, that's what it is.
Years ago. But I mean, is a homeless person going to sue you really
that's what
for a
it is.
butty? But I know those laws have been slightly changed now, so you can just give food away now apparently. But the idea that you would put hand sanitizer on a butty when all you could do is just say, right, so you tell the local well, the local missionary place. I mean, if you look at Bold Street, all the cafes, the homeless missionaries only on 2 streets away, on Seal Street. If you said to them, right, we're shutting at 5:30, if someone from there comes in and you can have all these butties, take them and distribute them as you want, you know, take them round or whatever. The idea that you'd rub hand sanitizer on food, and we live in the most wasteful society ever. It is just absolutely incredible.
What about this Jeremy Kyle stuff? I seen Terry Christian this morning. He was on Sky News, I think it was, and he tweeted it this morning. But and he's saying it should have been banned years ago. It's essentially like, And what I found really interesting was Sky had interviewed him. He said he's saying all the right things. It's a class thing. Let's all laugh at him, and he was like, "You wouldn't let me have Boris Johnson on and tell him all about, oh, what about your mistresses and who paid for this? And he said, there's no way you'd allow that on telly. So why have we got a public school boy lording it over people who are skint and need some money, or people who are vulnerable or whatever? And the interview was like, when you were on the Word, you used to make people drink their own vomit and he was like, whoa, and then he was going, to be fair, you did say at the time you didn't agree with it, but they were trying to flip it back onto him to say you were a knobhead in 1989. So don't be having a go with Jeremy Kyle. And he kept his cool, to be fair, Teddy Christian. But it's about time.
To be fair, I mean, the argument I would say with that is that was it was always horrible, and it was a very, very small segment of the show, and the segment actually was, I'll do anything to get on TV. It was actually it was actually laughing at itself.
That's what he said.
It was holding the mirror up to itself. Jeremy Kyle, the whole point of the programme is to take people who naturally, by some of their appearances, their teeth and everything, we've all seen the memes of people's teeth and everything, is to just laugh at someone else's terrible situation.
But it's not their art, it's the vulnerability that they experience.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Straight away, you look at them and go,
I've got an inside story about it. So I was telling me the other day, his one of his cousins, he's someone, it was either he's one of his cousins and his dad and her dad went on Jeremy Kyle about because she had a drinking problem, a really severe drinking problem, and something had happened as a result of it. She was like, put him in a hotel and stuff, went there. She was staying in a room on her own. They sent up cans and vodka to her room. Because they encourage you to drink beforehand. Because that's the point. That's the whole exploitation and vulnerability factor for television purposes. And it's like, what the fuck?
What does that say about society?
How is that legal?
What does that say about society that we don't feel like we can solve our problems anywhere else?
Well, listen, I worked in social services, as you know, and a couple of people I work with have been on it. And I was like, what do you got on? They were like, yeah, well, they give us 250 quid, and we get it. When am I going to stay in a hotel? And these are people who are vulnerable, but also people who haven't got anything. They were like, got to stay in a hotel. And you're like,
it's a holiday for them.
They're 15 minutes.
Just terrifying.
They're 15 minutes. And there's been a couple of programmes I've watched this week on BBC One. It's like their mental health awareness week. And I watched one the other night. It was about soldiers coming back from the war. One was from Liverpool, from Highton, and he ended up killing himself because there was literally no support structure for him. And then I watched one last night about the girl from she won Britain's Bake Off, and she had anxiety, and it was just horrendous when you watched it.
Who was it?
The Asian girl.
Oh, Nadia.
Yeah. And she couldn't get on trains and anything, and she thinks like people are going to die and everything because she doesn't recite their names. It was mad. But like, she got a bit of help, and the guy helped her and all that, and he done it properly. And was like, the world won't end if you do certain things. And he was like, she said, tell me what you're happen when you have a panic attack. And he was like, and she was breathing in deep, and he's like, what? How do you feel now? And she was like, well, I feel terrible. I feel like I'm dizzy and I'm going to be sick. And he also went, well, have you ever felt like that before? And she was like, yeah, like when I got married and stuff, or I was, I'd heard some exciting news. And so that was like the best day of your life, and now you feel like you're going to die. Why? He was like, it's because it's called a panic attack. You've just, he was educating. Essentially, he was just educating it, right? So we've got a TV programme who, instead of having, we don't have the education, we don't have the health service to cope with these people's problems, so they go on TV, make a fool of themselves, and ultimately this is what we're left with. A guy commits suicide. But going back to what you were saying before about what he was saying about Teddy Christensen, why is it socially acceptable, or this programme is seen as one thing, right, because someone's killed themselves? Well, 2 contestants on Love Island have killed themselves, right? Okay, a little bit further down the line, but they couldn't cope with the after effects of what had happened in that show, and yet that show will be on this summer, and no one will.
3?
I don't know.
I'm sure there's 2 lads.
Yeah, there was a girl as well, wasn't it?
It was a girl from season 2, and then a guy from last season,
and then his mate killed himself.
And his mate killed himself as well.
So that'll be on this summer, and because that's seen as a different thing, that's a program where people are having fun.
Weird. That's behind the pub. But my best mate's going on it. And it's like,
but the thing is, that is essentially people going on trying to hook up and all that. And it's a big, but they're gonna then become your mate if he's on it and hangs on for a bit. Will be a celebrity then, right? It might last 3 months, right?
But the weird thing is he's quite well known locally because he does modelling and he paints. So he does murals and stuff.
Okay,
like,
but it'll be
huge.
It'll be going
want that.
from locally to nationally,
Yeah.
and also though,
and it's everything that comes.
and also he'll have to deal with, and I hope he doesn't have to deal with it, but these people have to deal with the fact that at first it's like everything's great and they'll be getting offers to do this and offers to do that, and then it'll become you again, and then it'll become people on Twitter and stuff will start.
They'll get the hate anyway.
Yeah, and they'll start. Well, that girl. If you went on her comments last night on Twitter, that girl from Bake Off, people should have seen the people things people were saying about it. They were like, "Who the fuck do you think you are? Have you been off TV for a bit? Have you trying to make yourself, trying to get yourself back in the spotlight?" It's like, what? We live in a society where someone opens up and is trying to show that we have problems. As soon as they open themselves up, people destroy them, and you wonder why people don't open themselves up, because we're in a community now where you just jumped on and people think that's acceptable.
That's what I'm saying before, like back to what I said before about the society thing, is that people, particularly in this country, it seems, are happy to just slag people off regardless. It blows my mind that people like being nasty. It's weird. It's just so weird.
But it's not even
But
nasty.
I just think it's I just think the way I look at it now is, if you're having to go on social media slagging people off, your life must be shit. It must be, because why would you? If you feel all right about yourself, if I don't like you, I don't need to comment on anything you do.
But
if people feel like they've got to have this opinion on everybody and go, he's a knobhead, she's a slag, she's a dickhead, he's a knobhead, and that's what they feel like. Whereas when you were saying, but I think that's society. They don't
That's
like
what I'm saying.
But in America, right, to flip it the other way, because this is what we were saying before, they're made up with the self-made man.
Yeah.
A lot of America is made up with that.
The American dream.
He done great. He's come from nothing. Look at him now. He's doing really, and they love that. Here, we fucking hate it. An element of society here fucking
It's
hates
principles
it.
going too.
Everybody in the shit.
It's principles too far, isn't it? That is. Well, America, everyone looks up. We all seem to look down.
Yeah.
They both have terrible consequences, because in America, the poor people at the bottom who aren't getting anything
Don't get out
of it. Because
I'm not saying America's better.
No, you're
I'm
not
saying that.
But
the society.
But they have the same problems with
is
social media as well. But this girl, last night, she's getting all this abuse, going, it's all bollocks, fucking stay to you, it's childish and all this. It's like, you don't know what's going on in that girl's head. And then you see consequences like this, where someone kills himself and everyone just washes their hands of him, going, well, wasn't anything to do with us. Well, it's like, hang on.
The worst thing for me is that you're right. It's that fact of, and I see a very narrow perspective on it, which is football Twitter, in the sense of like, you feel like because you're behind an avatar or a picture of it's not you, and your page, you can't. People feel like they can't be traced. They don't know, won't know who they are, so they've got like a free hit.
Yeah,
I can say whatever I want to whoever I want,
and unless it's the old though.
That's just well.
Yeah, and then it's
find you.
Yeah, and then it's but then the most baffling thing for me is like when I do my Starting 11 show, do it live, and I always go through the comments on the YouTube to have a conversation with people. And there's some people that are like, "You're shit, you're blah 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 blah," and then you're like, "Oh, why do you think that, mate?" And he was like, "Oh, well, they don't expect you to be on the other end because they feel that there's such a disparity between you're up here and I'm down here." There's no difference, mate. I'm still you. I want to come and talk to you, but because I'm the one talking to them for a camera, they feel like I'm for some reason on a pedestal, and that they have the right to project up to me because I'm already ahead of them.
So why did he? My thing is, why did he feel the need to say to you, "Oh, you're shit"?
And that's what I said.
For what reason?
And he was like, because he'd say something like that, and I'd be like, "Cheers for the comment, mate. What makes you say that?" And he was like, "Oh, I didn't really get far enough into the video, mate." And then I saw it towards, and then it's like, but it's like you're only saying that because I've given you a response.
Yeah,
I'm not having a go at you. I'm just asking you why, and then they backtrack.
We were doing a live show last night.
Yeah,
and on Wednesday rather, and a couple of things come up, and there was like a couple of thumbs down. I was like, "Oh, where the R's, the Reds with the thumbs down, blah de blah." And 2 minutes later, they'd gone. So they obviously unclicked the thumbs down because we'd said something.
Themselves,
and you're like, why do you feel the need?
A Liverpool fan had to go in the comments, so I looked straight down the barrel live and went, "Hello, Sam. what are your problems with the show? You know, like, because he was like, and then it was like, fucking use it, and I was like, you're watching us.
I was like, you're so jealous of the Reds.
Yeah,
and we were like,
we're
we're
not.
doing an Everton video.
Doing a show about Everton.
What are you on about? And he was just
doing
a
a show
man.
about
You're here.
Yeah, it was like-
You've come out. You've taken time out your day
that's
to come and
what,
watch
so
me.
that's what I mean. It's just like dead weird. It's like so strange that people feel.
But I think it is time, though. I mean, it is time that shows like that. Channel 5's the worst, and what's worse is
ITV's terrible.
it is terrible. But what's terrible? It's this whole everybody feels. It's the old thing. John Cleese. And the two Ronnie sketches, isn't it? I look down at him.
Oh.
We're always trying to find because we can't. Maybe some people don't feel like they can aspire up or feel like they've hit the as high as they're ever going to go. Then they want to start looking down at people. And those shows on like Channel 5 and stuff, where it's benefit street and all that. It allows people to just go, well, I live in a 2 up and 2 down. I'm paying the mortgage. Yes, we're struggling. We've got a car. We've both got jobs. It's not great. But at least we're not them people down there.
Well, that's great. So the flip side of that, can we start having the people on then who are tax fucking dodging and all that, and we start slagging them and go,
but the point being
look at
is,
the state of the. Can we do that then? So that everybody gets a bit of it, because that wouldn't be allowed.
But what happens
the
if
establishments wouldn't put?
But what happens
like
if
Terry Christian said he wouldn't put him on with Boris Johnson?
But what?
No, you. He was shagging all sorts and doing, which is what he said himself, and hiding money here and doing this.
More
there
importantly, though, Baz, what would happen if we had a show on TV, right, where people like Boris Johnson, not him, but people like him, sat round and laughed at people like us, like people
upper class to
yeah.
class.
What would happen if the upper class started laughing at us? So just people who've got normal lives with normal families, normal cars. That's what I'm saying. That we perceive ourselves as normal. Not saying us as in us directly, but the people who are watching things like Benefit Street and all that.
Yeah.
If someone started laughing at us, rather than, I know what you're saying, looking the other way, but if there was a show on TV that started laughing at the average man, they'd be fucking even more murdered.
Yeah, them saying, "Oh, my villa." Haven't you got a villa?
Exactly.
Haven't you got a fucking
Exactly.
3 houses? Oh, you knobber. And you're
Exactly.
like, mate, I'm trying to feed me kids.
Exactly.
Fuck you on about.
I've got a job. I'm a normal person. I've got a
doing
job.
this,
I might have to go to a food bank and all these things, even though I'm a fucking a nurse or whatever else.
Shit,
That's what I'm saying. That's when it would be worse. If someone did that, then you'd be fucking murdered. Because that's the problem. It is the average man who's laughing at these people who don't deserve to be laughed at, and we're all there's that's the problem.
Is it the average man? No, you don't.
Well, it's
know,
not for things like Jeremy Kyle is weird because of the time of day it's on.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. It's almost like the same people are laughing at them.
But the fact
that
you've got the luxury to even watch it in the first place. You're privileged. You're more
who's
privileged.
even up
than
at
those
10
people.
o'clock in the
Well,
morning?
all of us, Pedro, apart from you. It'd be the people who aren't working and the people who don't have to work.
Yeah.
And that's 2 different ends of the scale.
No, I just think that
And that's the
minute
reality.
minute they turn the light on normal people for listen, there'll be many people out there who think we've completely failed in life because we don't go fucking skiing in the winter in Barbados.
Right, there's fucking loads of them.
Exactly. So if they suddenly turn that
3 houses.
exactly, so if they turn the light, if they spun it round on us, then that would never get commissioned because people go, whoa, hang on. As a sponsor, they're the people who go into Tesco.
Yeah, we're as the middle class where you've got disposable income. You're the most valuable part of society to companies and brands because you're the people that you're not poor enough to not spend, but to have the money to spend, and you're not rich enough to be tight. So you're the one in the middle that will spend money on takeaways and holidays a couple of times a year, and you've got that. You live in the moment more than everyone else. So you haven't already made it, and you're not already trying to get there to where we are. So like you're hitting the biggest part of the population, and people are like, we can't do that.
You're making a really good point, but I feel as though you're ready to plug yourself in.
I've just been ready to go in the Matrix. To be fair, I'm ready to go in the Matrix. I'm not being funny, but if they said to me now, you can go in the Matrix and you get the bit in this when the guy gives them up, it's like, put me in the Matrix, make me someone important. I know this steak's not real, but it tastes so nice. He's like, yeah, I'll give you the code. So
get a new upload.
I'm a bit like that.
What about Mick Jagger putting his video on?
The
Jags, the rocket 75.
He's got some
doing his moves like Jagger.
I like the fact in this video that he's not doing anything particular. He's
What's he singing about?
He's
Is he singing his
working.
song?
He's working out by just doing the moves that he does on stage. It's dead weird.
But it's Bosch. 75, mate. He moves are unbelievable.
He's like, his bones and his joints must just be like fucking, like he's 21.
They're not actually as
You know
well.
what?
I literally said, I tweeted about it and I said, the only thing that can make you look 254 but move like you're 20 is 50 years of hard drugs.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell have you? How can you? Like same as like Keith
cocaine and
Richards.
slugs, let's be
Keith
honest.
Richards should be dead. Ronnie Wood should be dead, and they're not.
They're
And
on
it's
the
like-
club.
You know why they're not dead? The reason people like that are not dead, and the reason why people can do that when they're 75 is because for most of his
Sold
life,
their soul.
he has eaten the best things, and he's drunk a lot of it, and he's probably put a lot up his nose.
It'd be more than that.
But he's
from the 60s.
but he's had he'll have had for the last 30 years. He'll have had the best medical treatment.
The best pussy.
The best, and all things like the best beds, things like we talked about before.
It's not just that. The thing
No, it is though. It's
It's
all
not been a DFS.
But
not
the,
been-
the
but
thing, the thing with Mick
daily
Jagger,
massages,
the thing with Mick Jagger is he is like that
vitamin C shots.
literally because he moves like Jagger. Right?
He's always been that guy.
I mean,
hasn't
So he moves. He's so that fitness that he's got. You're not fucking nothing on him.
He's never had anything more. Has he?
So nobody's. He's literally
To be fair,
not stopped. Has
nobody
he?
is
He's
gonna-
not stopped.
Nobody's going to move as like Jagger than Jagger.
Well, yeah, because it's his own thing, isn't it?
Well,
But the thing
essentially it's him.
the thing is, it's like sometimes you'll get footballers that they work so hard, like Jordan Henderson, for example, which is a strange example. You know,
Massively strange, yeah.
but it's he's got something.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Go on. Go on.
I've got to talk about them because it's my first reference point.
Yeah.
It's a guy who's had like issues with his legs.
Yeah.
And it's like he'll work his arse off and run a lot, cover a lot of distance, and in 20 years he'll feel that. He'll have probably bad arthritis. He won't have the same mobility. He'll probably stiffen up a bit because he's put so much into it. But whereas with Jagger, it's like my dad saw him last year. I was supposed to have a ticket, ended up going on holiday. It wasn't one of the worst mistakes of my life because they're my favourite band. But he went to see him at Twickenham, and they haven't aged. It was like they are all just so still full of life, still like they're living in prime
that's
1975.
That's the thing, though. It's the mental aspect of it
He's
as well.
got
Is that
some-
he doesn't feel like he's old,
He's got fucking loads of hair still.
He's got something to live for.
but he's moving like Jagger. And that's the thing. I think that video encompasses. He's 75.
I love him, yeah.
There's lads who are 40, 50 can't move like him because he's never stopped.
Life grinds you down, doesn't it? At the end of the day, life grinds you down. And if you've got a life that's amazing,
But then why does he look like that and Keith Richards looks like he does?
because Keith Richards
Well,
probably
he doesn't move the same as him for the
he
start.
stands there with a
His
guitar.
hands.
stands
You've
there.
seen his hand.
Yeah,
The amount of gout and stuff he's
Yeah,
got.
Well, he
He's
will
nuts.
do, he will, but he do that. But then that's where the other stuff helps, doesn't it? But Jagger's literally danced his whole life, so that's why he's.
Don't
still
forget, he's
moving.
on a band where wasn't it the drummer literally died from a night of drugs and the other one who
The
died
other
recently.
affair, yeah.
They found in a hotel
Oh,
room.
yeah,
and he
yeah,
literally
yeah.
died having the night of his life with a girl and probably loads of drugs and went out like that. I mean,
Like a rock star.
he went out like a rock star.
literally like
I mean, I
a
don't
rock
even know his name, so he couldn't be
I
known.
don't remember.
I'm sure people. I mean,
Listen,
they're your favourite band, shouldn't you know?
He's literally had a great time, hasn't he? So that's it. But I just think that's testament to moving.
And do you know what? I hope everyone at
home
home's had a great time
Well,
watching
that's
this.
a political thing, mate.
This has been.
It hasn't been as funny as normal, has it?
It won't be when you
You
talk about.
can't guarantee humour.
You know, it's not.
No, but we haven't even had I'm disappointed there's not even been a.
We've got no list. Everything's been off the cuff.
Well, we used to do off
And we're finishing right now. Put your phone away because we're finishing. We've been on for about an hour and a half. It's worse than last week.
Have we?
We've been on for
Yeah.
a while. Right, we're finishing.
Did you ask?
Yeah,
Did people in the comments say about whether they like this format?
People like all of it.
Apart from when we talk about
I
politics.
just think, politics they won't like.
We'll swerve that for next week.
But I think
didn't
I
talk
think
ab-
we go back to.
you know what?
Because this is how any other business started.
We
With
didn't talk
with
about
script.
politics. We talked about the basis of it. And why.
didn't
no,
we-
I know, but some people are
didn't
like,
we-
this
But
is
we
heavy.
didn't get biased though.
No, but some,
we said we didn't like.
Do you like heavy topics?
We
or
said
do
we
you
didn't like Nazis.
I mean,
Permanent
before
comedy.
we finish, Alan Brazil's head.
Yeah, Alan Brazil's head.
I mean,
What is
How's
that?
he still
Is
alive?
that blood pressure?
I don't
No, it's sun.
So
His son, he's been in the sun drinking.
he
hasn't
looks,
he?
and it'll be, and it'll will.
He'll die.
it will
He'll
be blood
die.
pressure.
He'll die live on here.
It's just, it's.
He'll have a heart
I mean,
attack.
there's that face is incredible that you sent.
Si sent me that. It's on his laptop.
It's amazing.
I mean,
Full.
just that's full pet.
Just full.
That's just like, I don't even know if he's angry there, or he's laughing, or he's
yawning or...
yawning. And what about this girl who was doing the thing I sent you?
I saw that, yeah.
It's
a bit at the end where she jumps over the bench.
how she jumped.
Okay, I don't know. Visual cues are not very good for this show.
No, but
Someone
I'm
told me
just
last
saying.
night. Baz sent me a message last night saying this famous Mexico player was going to be in Liverpool.
No, I got it sent to
signing
me.
autographs on Saturday. Happens that
got
it
it.
just happened to be Mexico City.
I got it sent to me, and I was like, this. And then, no, what it did was, I went, hang on, I'm going to look at what he actually said. So I look at the translation and where it was, and I was like, Mexico. Forget that, mate.
Message deleted.
Yeah.
He did. He did.
I said, forget that.
Message deleted. Oops. Never happened. No, don't know what you're talking about.
There's no just before
Like
you.
fucking Men in Black.
I didn't want to
There's
think.
no proof of it.
Your eyes have just widened. What have you opened?
Just Jordan Pickford's fucking suit, horrendous.
You've got a fat
It's a
tie.
nice suit, that.
It's a big tie.
That's very like that tweed looks very
No one over that.
Trend.
I don't like the tie. I'm not a fan of the tie.
I think it's nice.
So yeah, there you go.
Right, we're finishing there. We've done it. We've done.
We didn't even do it. Wait,
What?
What?
we haven't done an intro.
Dinosaurs, meteorites, and Nazis.
Dinosaurs, meteorites, Nazis. Sexual story with a twist. Any other business.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to scare anybody.
Any other business.
Why is this got a sexual one?
Welcome to any other business.
Any other business.
Goodbye.
See you later.
You better put that in. we literally said last week, how far can we get into it without